Hey YouTube, Joyboy here. So, today I want to talk about Sanji and his role in the future of Whole Cake Island as well as the cake. And so I see it all the time, guys. People don't believe that the ending of Whole Cake Island can be good. That is what I covered in my very last video to make you guys more excited about the possibilities Oda has at his disposal, or at least that I can envision based on what I perceive to be set up. But still, people are upset with Sanji, and I want to alleviate as much of that as possible because I do believe in Oda, and I believe that the clues within the story will lead to exciting events to come for him. But not just exciting. I think that Sanji will have a badass moment, and he will also have a very emotional moment. But I want to separate these things from the actual baking of the cake. Now, I am not part of the group that finds Sanji baking the cake to be dissatisfying. I just think that it's a different kind of satisfaction from what a lot of people are looking for. It's kind of like in Enies Lobby where Sanji fought against Jabra of CP9. That is what most people took away from that arc as Sanji's shining moment. But also at the very end of the arc, Sanji played a very crucial role in helping the Strats escape from that awkward circumstance. These are two separate sort of things that Sanji did within that arc that I think are praiseworthy, and each offer sort of a different insight as to things that you could like about Sanji. Guys, I really don't think that it's the cake itself, Sanji, the act of baking the cake, which upsets you about this arc. I think it's the expectation that all Sanji is going to do is to bake the cake. And while I do think that this in and of itself should be exciting and something that you should look forward to and only add to the feats that Sanji will have that you've sort of been looking for. But I do think that there should be more, and this seems emphasized to me by the actions of all the other Strats and their allies during the course of this arc, all of which have contributed in actual battle, whereas Sanji has really, and as far as, you know, in terms of fighting, done nothing. I mean, if we count the events since Zou, he was essentially forced to give up in Zou. Heading to Whole Cake Island, he fought Yonji, but that was off-screened. He then fought Niji and got a shot in, but then again was forced to quit. He then fought Luffy, but that wasn't really a fight, and not something that we should be rooting for Sanji doing. Heading into the tea party, he fought with Daifuku a little bit, which by no stretch of the imagination can be considered a win, and it wasn't highlighted enough for us to get excited. Then pretty much all the Strats were captured, the castle fell, they're all running, Sanji still has done nothing. I haven't even talked about the events before Zou, in which, you know, Sanji didn't really have that epic win, like the instance mentioned earlier in his fight versus Jabra. Sanji is long overdue, and while I agree with all the people out there saying that, you know, One Piece is narrative driven, it's story driven, it's not just about fights. A huge component of One Piece is fights, and for sure Oda has, up until this point in the New World, done a disservice to Sanji in this department. All of Sanji's major wins that weren't off-screen have to do with things unrelated to fighting. So yeah, guys, I, just like you, expect this to happen at some point in time. I think that a lot of people were caught up in the year of Sanji and they got impatient, but for sure Oda will get there eventually, and in my personal opinion, he will get there by the end of Whole Cake Island. The setup could not possibly be more clear that there will be a Sanji versus Ichiji clash before this arc ends. When you get into all the evidence, guys, it's just so plainly obvious. The only thing that you could possibly have to not believe this is the circumstances which will lead to it, as well as your expectation for the duration of the Whole Cake Island arc, which many people think is going to end shorter rather than longer. But if you take out these two subjective and arguable pieces of evidence, you are left with one of the very strongest theories in Whole Cake Island. As far as the circumstances which may lead to this, they're open to interpretation. A lot of the events that happen in between things are unpredictable. You don't know exactly what motivation Oda will throw in at the last second to make two characters meet up, or a group versus another group meet up. This is something that I don't even feel the need to speculate on, because there's just not enough information to know, only that there are many possibilities which could lead to it. What's stronger here is all the evidence pointing to them actually meeting up, not the evidence pointing to how exactly they will meet up. And as for the duration of Whole Cake Island, the editors are always wrong. To think that they will be right in this case doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, and a lot of people are throwing in this evidence that they have this Wano festival going on in October, meaning that Whole Cake Island will definitely end by October, but I'm not certain if there won't be just a Zoro and Wano cameo in a chapter in October while we are still within Whole Cake Island. What I do know for sure is that there is zero possibility of Oda rushing or ruining the end of Whole Cake Island for the sake of meeting a deadline of a festival. And as I can see it, guys, with all the hanging plots and things that need to be addressed left within Whole Cake Island, I would not expect Whole Cake Island to end for at least another 10 chapters, but this is alright because based on what I can see, there will be a lot of good events to come. And so, as for Sanji vs. Ichiji, I've addressed this in 2 separate videos, actually I think 3 separate videos, discussing my thoughts on it dating back from 4 or 5 months ago. And I will include links to those in the description because I will talk way more in depth about it. And so this post isn't just about Sanji vs. Ichiji. I'm going to talk about a whole bunch of new stuff that I have been thinking about in the recent weeks. So if you have already checked out my other videos on the topic, they won't be a replacement for this one. Before, it was about arguing for Sanji vs. Ichiji, and now I'm going to be arguing for the circumstances which surround or which may surround Sanji vs. Ichiji. But here are the reasons why I think that you should and you can believe in it, which is that Sanji has fought all of his family with the exception of Reiju and Ichiji. And I think that it's pretty clear, I don't need to argue it within the story, that Ichiji is by far the worst brother. He is essentially the main antagonist of the Vinsmoke family. And this is very, very strange because as of now there has been zero resolution between Sanji and his brother, specifically Sanji and Ichiji. Only resolution between Reiju and Sanji, as well as Judge and Sanji. So for Oda to have completely skipped over this doesn't make sense. We should expect that Sanji and Ichiji will encounter each other before this arc ends for, if no other reason, than for them to hug and make up. But I more than highly doubt that. Remember what Judge said near the very beginning of Whole Cake Island? Men can only speak clearly with one another using their fists. If you believe that Oda is going to ignore Sanji's relationship with his own brothers and not resolve the conflict, then you don't believe in Oda enough. It's very clear to me that Oda is saving Sanji vs. Ichiji, that he's been putting it off for a climactic moment near the end. And so guys, there's a bunch of other setup which leads to this, but I think the most obvious one occurred in the recent chapters, which I talked about in a video, in which basically Judge said that he wouldn't harm Sanji or his friends or his family, but he never gave that order to his children. And keeping in mind that Reiju essentially revealed to us that Judge has the ability to direct orders to them that they cannot disobey. He then went on in a panel below this to say that we, as the Germa 66, will protect you and your crew till the moment that Caesar flies off into the sky. This was in fact an order that none of the children could break, and we have some resolution to this order when we see Ichiji watching Caesar fly off into the sky, and he even comments on it, so there you go, huh? Oda here is letting us know that Ichiji and the other brothers are no longer bound by Judge's command, and it is extremely convenient that Judge is no longer conscious to issue another one. Essentially, the children are free to act as they see fit. And so this is where I see this comment, which is very prevalent, which is that they say that Ichiji and all the other children are emotionless. So why would it be that they would attack Sanji? What reason would they have? And I very much disagree with this. The children are not emotionless. They have displayed emotions on countless times. Even someone like Ichiji, despite him being the most emotionless out of all of them, they have no positive emotions such as love and compassion. But they do possess negative emotions such as anger or contempt. And these situations which may lead to Ichiji's anger has already essentially been revealed to us within the story, based on all of the details revealed about him. But his main ideal seems to revolve around royals being better than everyone else, and as a royal, you should act like a royal. And guys, this whole entire saga with the Vinsmoke and Sanji's past is all about to come to a head, I believe, when Sanji actually bakes the cake. Royals must never serve others. If you have already previously speculated that it seems likely that there will be some sort of confrontation or meetup between Sanji and Ichiji, there is no other perfect time than just before or during or after Sanji bakes this cake for Big Mom. I really don't think that Oda just introduced the concept of Sanji baking this cake to get Mama out of her rage and potentially save everyone's lives, not only because of the imminent threat of Big Mom and the possibility of escape, but also to completely tie up the conflict with the Vinsmoke brothers, and give them actual reason to fight, with Big Mom and the Big Mom pirates at their tail. Every aspect of Sanji making this cake should be contrary to Ichiji's values. As a royal, Ichiji believes that Sanji should not be cooking for other people, and given that this is still unresolved, if Ichiji were to encounter Sanji doing this, it would upset him. But it's even more perfect than this, because another thing that is important in understanding Ichiji is that he does not value the weak, and he does not understand why Sanji would go out of his way to save people. Not only is Sanji cooking, but Sanji is cooking in order to save people. He is being led to believe that the act of baking this cake might grant the Strats some kind of forgiveness. I have my doubts, but this is certainly Sanji's belief. So Sanji here is saving his friends. And coincidentally, at the same time, given Big Mom's rage, and given that the Big Mom pirates have no easy way of dealing with this, Sanji is also saving the Big Mom pirates. From a narrative and literary perspective, all of the pieces are coming together. A lot of people have the expectation that Sanji baking this cake will lead to a resolution for this entire arc, and a resolution between the Straw Hats and the Big Mom pirates, but I really don't think that that is going to be the case. I think that it is meant to be here as a resolution between Sanji and his brothers. Resolution in the form of Sanji kicking his brothers' asses, speaking clearly with his fists, or in this case, his legs. I saw a lot of people, Rogers Base included, sort of complaining at the fact that Sanji is leaving the crew in a way, again, going off by himself. But I think that Oda did this purposefully. Oda is giving Sanji the opportunity of soloing his entire family, aside from Reiju. But I also want to talk about Reiju a little bit. It's pretty obvious that Reiju would not fight Sanji. I think we can presume that Judge is out for the count. So you literally have Ichiji as the leader of the Vinsmoke in this exact moment, coordinating their escape, and through some unknown means will encounter Sanji in my headcanon. If Sanji does indeed travel to Chocolate Town, which is on the border of Whole Cake Island, and the Vinsmokes right now we presume are attempting to escape, then them meeting up would make some sense. Have you guys noticed that the Vinsmoke's powers are still unexplained? Something as simple as Reiju sucking out Luffy's poison at the very beginning of this arc. Still, Oda has yet to address this. We have a general idea of what their powers are, but not what they are. And as far as, what makes Sanji's brothers so special, what genetic enhancements did they get that Sanji didn't get, which made him a failure? All of this, I believe, are being saved to the moment in which Sanji makes this cake and encounters his family. But now let's talk about Reiju, which is that Reiju would not agree with his family attacking Sanji. I think the setup here is very clear, that the moment in which Ichiji, perhaps Niji and Yonji decide to attack Sanji will be the moment in which Reiju decides to side with him. Throughout a good portion of this arc, Reiju said, Sanji, I'm done helping you, and then we find out time and time again that she's not. And this all leads to the events at the tea party. Reiju thinks this: it seems I underestimated your kindness. Despite what we've done to you, you can't even leave us and run. I've hated and been ashamed of my Vinsmoke name my whole life, and yet looking at you and how you've grown, I'm saved. Because through your goodness lives on in our blood. Thank you, Sanji. I really think Sanji has given Reiju hope for a better future, and that she will no longer stand by idly accepting the things that she despises. I think that she has finally learned something from Sanji, to pursue your dreams and your ambitions and to be yourself, whatever woe that may bring. And I think that the outcome of her deciding to side with Sanji has also been very plainly foreshadowed. She said this when Sanji was younger: "Just to clarify, I'm not on your side, okay? I don't want to end up as their next target. And when they target her, they will hurt her." What the hell did this girl ever do to you? What kind of man beats a woman to the point that she's rendered unconscious? Spoiled brats that don't appreciate a warm meal, men who dare raise their hands against a woman, royals who treat the lives of their subordinates as nothing more than expendable pawns. Everything you do, everything you stand for, goes completely against every fiber in my body. Guys, this really couldn't be any more perfect, and any more perfectly set up. This cake accomplishes more than just one task. 2 birds, 1 stone. And this is without even mentioning this possibility of what may occur with pudding, which I also believe has been foreshadowed. But anyway guys, that's what I wanted to share with you today. I see a lot of really pessimistic people out there, but I think that you should be more optimistic than not. But share your thoughts, let me know if you agree or if you don't, and why. Like the video if you like the video, dislike the video if you dislike the video. Make sure to check out links to Discord and Patreon in the description. Patreon if you want to support my content. And as always guys, have a wonderful day.